Everybody, Scratch Off Ticket Man here. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. New week, new tickets. We got Crossword, we got Jaws. Let's get started. Hopefully, one of these is the ticket that we're looking for. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Pretty good weekend over here. We're still weekending here where I'm from. We got a long weekend going on here. But, I'm trying to do this Monday to Friday. I figure, what is it? What is the concept? It says no 0 days, but except for Saturday and Sunday. Because I try to do some other stuff Saturday and Sunday. But we're back. We're back working on this. Anyways, the thing I wanted to talk about last week, we didn't get to on Friday. But big news last week. Liam and Noel Gallagher decide to bury the hatchet and put some tour dates together for their little band called Oasis. If you're a part of my generation, Oasis was a pretty big band. If you're from my generation, there was a lot of dudes with acoustic guitars playing a song called Wonderwall at parties, and that was kind of how they shot their shot. And it was kind of like how they word it in the gun world, spray and play when it comes to just kind of just shoot everywhere and see what happens. Could there be like some girl at the party who's like, "Oh, you got such a good voice. You're so good playing this song." And then all of a sudden, the guy playing the acoustic guitar, he's like, "I'm pretty much in. I just gotta not screw this up, and it's gonna be a pretty good evening for this guy and his guitar and his soft shell acoustic guitar case." So, anyways, we're kind of seeing the real resurgence of that. But I got a buddy he's definitely a music fan. He's still a music fan, which I think is kind of interesting because I think like the older we get, uh, the less we kind of care about where the music comes from because we kind of have the music that we like, and usually a lot of what we decide we like, we kind of form that in high school and we kind of carry it with us, which is really interesting because there's a lot of people that love bands like Korn and Limp Bizkit, and we kind of don't say anything about it. And then they go on tour, and we're all like, "Yeah, we're gonna go." I'm not going. I definitely can't afford to go see those bands anymore. But just the idea where it's like $300 tickets to go see the best get, and you're like, really? And then my generation's like, yeah, we'll pay it. We want to see him play break stuff and like, you know, it's gonna be cool. I'm trying to think of what his name is right now, the guitar player, but he could look really cool, and it's gonna be fun times. Anyway, with Oasis, it's like them going on tour. It's like they not to say they've earned it, but it's like it'll be good. It's gonna be no Gallagher and the high flying birds sort of thing. Not say it's a dig at what he was doing by himself, but it's gonna be good, and I think it is good that they got back together and they want to do some tour dates. But as my buddy was kind of saying, like, oh, it's just a cash grab. It's just a cash grab. Like you're not, they don't like each other, and like how long is it gonna be until there's like a fight, and how long is it gonna be until all of a sudden they're like not doing the tour dates anymore and stuff like that, and people are gonna lose a bunch of money, and it's gonna be a big thing. And I'm like, maybe it is, but also like from the bare bones of it, it's like, what if it is a cash grab? Like, who cares? Like, what's wrong with just doing it for the money? You know? And it's funny because like this guy's like a big fan of like MMA, like boxing and stuff like that. And part of my argument against him, like, do you think any of those guys are getting in the ring or the octagon just out of the goodness of their hearts? That they're like, yeah, I know people really love this, so I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna get my brain turned into a blinking Nintendo because I just think this is great and it's good for the community and stuff like that. It's like, no, these people are doing it for the money. Even if the money is garbage, it's like they're still doing it for the money. But we have this idea when it comes to some of the arts, like when it comes to like especially music, because so many people love playing music. Because there's something to be said, I think, about being up on stage or something like that. Like maybe the idea where like that's actually the payoff for a lot of musicians is they get to be on stage and they get to play and kind of have that experience. So music for sure has been super devalued as far as like what people expect to get paid because they think like, oh, they just want to go up there and have fun. But it's like the further up you get, like some of these tours and stuff, like, you gotta cost a fortune. Just like a making a movie sometimes. It's like it's gonna cost a fortune to make some of these things. So the idea where the Gallagher brothers are like, hey, we're getting up there in age. Do you wanna have one more, lap around the block here and go play the songs or go play hits? Sing about cannonballs and stuff like that? You wanna go do that? I don't even know how many records they have. I feel like they have one record. Like with the Morning Glory record or what it was called. I can't even remember what it was called. But the idea, like, for someone to say like, hey, let's go do this, why would you not? Like, why would like even if you're just doing it for the money, it's like who cares? Like they're going and they're gonna go have a blast and one of those things too that kind of came up. I didn't want to like, make this like a thing, like, oh, you're hearing it here first, leak rumor, but it's like as we get older, sometimes health issues just come out of left field and all of a sudden it's like, one day you're just like you're hanging out, like you're riding a bike or you're just like you're just doing stuff. You're doing whatever in the garden, and then like you go to the doctor's next week, and like, oh, you got 6 months. It's like, okay, didn't have that on my bingo card, but I guess I need to think about what's going on. We just got Gala, ladies and gentlemen. We need one more word, and then we got 3 bucks. But that's the idea. It's like those two. Not saying they're the healthiest, but it's like whenever I see people always smoking, whenever they're doing stuff, I have to think, maybe one day they'll catch up with them. You don't want to, but maybe you will. So it's one of those things where like maybe there's some health issues there, or just they really had a conversation. Like their people got together and said, hey, you know what? Maybe we should go and do this, and it'd be fun. We'll make a bunch of money, and we'll kind of go from there. So yeah, I kind of threw it back at my body. I'm like, do you go to work for fun? Do you not think this is a job? Do you not think that, them going and doing that and all the people they need to hire for these tours or people need to hire for like movies or for like theater or like I do have a little bit of thing when it comes to visual arts because again you put 3 lines on paint 3 lines on a giant canvas and you're like art. And it's like, oh, I don't know about that, but it's not my thing, so I don't really know. But that's the idea. Well, it's okay if someone wants to do something just for the money. Totally okay to do that. It's what you do with that money after. That's where my judgment actually kind of comes in with things. So, and not to joke about it, but I started joking about, the idea like the oldest profession in the world. It's like, do you think all those women and some men were just doing that because, like, I'm good at my job. I'm not going to charge you for what I'm doing. It's like, no, they knew exactly what they were doing. Exactly what they were doing. But we're at the end here. Oh man, if we had an I, a T, or an S, we would have cleared this whole thing. That's kind of where we got to. This is one of the scratchiest, offiest cards, I think. Oh, look at this, everybody. We got Gala, and we got Can. This is the winner. I totally missed that. I'm sure somebody else saw that as it was going. Big winner to start the week. Oh man, if we had a T, S, or I, we would have cleared this whole thing. We would have. We would have done that. All right. I declare that victory. Moving on to Jaws. Who will be next? Scratching off our numbers up here. Trying to think of some jobs that like people like. There's two other sides to it too. When we were chatting about the idea of people, kind of working out of the goodness of the heart. Like a lot of teachers, especially like grade school and high school teachers, they get the short end of the stick because they're like, oh, you should just love teaching. It's just like, well, maybe. But at the same time, like being fairly compensated for all the extra hours, like that's kind of what ruins, so I guess, what teachers actually make, and they need to spend their own money for some like supplies and stuff like that. I think it'd be different if other people need to do the same thing. Like, oh, you work at the factory. It's like, oh, by the way, can you just like buy some more parts for your machine here? Because like, I guess you need that to work. And then awkward silence. Anyways, yeah, I think teachers definitely don't get paid very well for what they do, but people are like, oh, you must love teaching. It's like, no, it's still a job. It's okay, it's still a job. I think it was one of those things too. Like, if people really love their work, it's like doctors should not be paid that much money. You should just love helping people. It's like, yeah, but they go to school for a bajillion years, and like, doctor seems really stressful. Like, I've never had a job where at the end of the job, I'm like, well, someone may or may not die depending on my decisions here. Like for the most part, it just kind of is what it is. But it's like I think that'd be a really stressful job. Same with like veterinarian. Like I could definitely not do that. Animals can't talk. That would make helping someone really difficult if they can't talk. And they can't even sign. They can't even like write down what the problems are. All right, we got 40, 35, 13, 39, and 10. So 40, not seen it. 35, we got some neighbors. We got 34 neighbor, not seen it. 13, not seen it. 39, seeing it. 39 right there. Oh, we also got 10. We'll just see what we get here. We got 10. Okay, no 10. So, moment of truth here. What's under 39? I'm going to give this a scratch. $5? I'll take it. So right now, about $5 on this card. We're at $3 on the other card. We're looking pretty good right now with our $8 spent today. All right, $50 here. We got Bunox. We got Starfish. We're out of the game right now. Shoes come off during the marathon. It's game over. All right, so you got that. I always forget about the bottom of this one, the lucky symbol here. We got Bacon, aka Chair. We got Coffee. We got Boat. We got a heart. That's so sweet. And we got a tree. So nothing happened. What else was under there? It's just a bit of extra ticket scratch for the week that'll be there. But we got two lines. We got Gala. We got Can. That's $3 on this card. And then we got 39. We got $5 on Josh. So we're back at 0, I think, on this one. Not too bad. Thanks for watching. Hope everyone had a great weekend. They got an excellent week ahead of them. Remember, it's okay to do stuff for the money. It's not so bad. Anyways, thanks for hanging out. See you next one. Good luck on that.